In the 80s, the high school hierarchy was absolute. You were either a brain, a jock, or completely invisible. But for Ronald Miller, being invisible was no longer an option. He had a plan, a lawnmower, and exactly $1,000 in cold hard cash. Which started as a desperate deal to buy a month of cool, turned into a classic 80s lesson on identity. From the awkwardness of the African Anteater dance to the romantic moments at the aircraft graveyard, this movie captured the high-stakes drama of the cafeteria lunch table like few others. So crank up the riding lawnmower, pull out the suede white jacket, and get ready to ride the Ronnie Express as Bethany Wells and I discuss Can't Buy Me Love from 1987 on this episode of the 80s Flick Flashback Podcast. Well, welcome to the show, everybody. I'm so glad to have you with us. I'm your host, Tim Williams. Climbing the social ladder this quickly requires a partner who knows how to navigate the clicks and the classics. Joining me today to talk about the true cost of being cool is someone who always brings a fresh perspective and a lot of heart to our discussions. Please welcome back to the show, Bethany Wells. How you doing, Bethany?
I'm just fine, Tim. I think it's funny that you picked me to be the person to help you with cool, considering
Exactly. Yeah.
I was famous for writing rent backwards on a piece of paper in my math class. So obviously, yes, you were correct. I'm very cool.
That's right. Yeah. The coolest of the cool. So, yeah. I knew exactly where to look. So, yeah, but we've been looking forward to this episode for a while. I told Bethany before we started recording, I have wanted to do this one. This is kind of the year I've been trying to do the ones that I've kind of kept on the back burner. And I'm like, I'm just going to do it. I don't need a reason. Like, it doesn't have to fall during a certain season. I'm just going to do these movies. And so this is definitely a favorite of mine from my preteen years. Bethany was quick to put her name on the list when I put it out there for who wanted to join. So glad to have you here. So let's jump in. When did you see Can't Buy Me Love for the very first time?
So the first time I saw it, it was probably in like middle school or high school. I think it came on TBS.
I'm sure.
And yeah, my stepmom saw it and she was like, "Oh, this is that funny movie where they do the dance." And I was like, "The what?" And
Right.
so I watched it, and now, like, I had previously, when I was talking about the movie ages ago to Ruby, I was like, and then there's this scene where he learns a dance. And
Mhm.
I described the whole scene to her. And then she was sitting there watching it with me and she goes, "Oh, that's this movie." It's like, yes.
Love it. Yeah. The African Anteater dance. Oh yeah. Well,
So funny.
yeah, I'm sure we'll get to that. We come to iconic scenes. I think we'll both kind of mention that one. So yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember if I saw this from the theater. I think I did, but I think I saw this late. Like it was either at the Dollar Theater or
hmm
this might have been we were living on base in Maryland, and they had a theater on base where second run movies would play like over a weekend. And so
hmm
they would play like on Friday night. If it was PG, they do a Saturday matinee and then Saturday night and then sometimes on Sunday. And so I kind of think that's where I saw it, but I remember seeing it, remember loving it, remember when it came on cable, or I think I had a VHS of this. I'm pretty sure I did. But I know I had a TV version that I recorded off of TV
hmm
because uh, the part in the arcade when his friend is telling him, "You crapped on my house," they couldn't
Yeah.
use the word, but I remember that being edited for like, I was like, how are they going to edit that? And they tried, and it was like, they do
Oh,
this. It was, "You dumped on my house. You
yeah,
dumped on
that's
my
what it
house."
was.
That
"You
was the
jumped on
TV
my
edit.
house."
Yeah. I was like, okay, well, that's one way of doing it. So, it's the
That was a
Disney Plus
movie.
version.
Yeah. It had to have been like, it was like sneaky the way like stuff would come up and you'd be like, "Oh, well, this is inappropriate." Got it. I
Right. Yeah.
forget.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And I have it in the notes later, but I'll go ahead and say it now. Like, the original script was much raunchier than what it became. Right before they were going to film it, the studio was like, yeah, we want this to be more like PG-13, so we need to take some of that stuff out. So the screenwriter had to go and like just take the story down to the bare bones and kind of rewrite it again without all of the raunchiness. And I was like, I think that's better. I think
Yeah.
it was like you said, middle school, like early high school. This is like that sweet spot of that type when to watch this movie for sure.
Yeah. When you can believe that what they're
This was
gaslighting
possible.
us is that Patrick Dempsey is a geek and not hot because he's
right.
wearing glasses and a beret and like
Right.
space. And
Yeah.
nobody is going to think he's cool, even
Mhm.
though objectively it's Patrick Dempsey and he's just he's an attractive man. Like
Mhm.
there's no getting around.
They didn't
So,
call him McSteamy for nothing, right?
yeah, no kidding.
Was it McSteamy or McDreamy? I didn't watch Grey's Anatomy,
Can't
so I don't
remember.
remember,
I
but
didn't
he was
either.
one of those.
But he
Don't
was
send
one
me
of
any hate mail.
he was the McSteamy or McDreamy, one of
Yeah.
the two.
He was the first one because he was in the early seasons. I remember
Mhm.
that. So yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. Well, how long has it been since you rewatched it before rewatching it for the podcast? Been a while.
It's been a minute. I probably watched it in in college, probably, but I haven't seen it since. And then when it popped up on your list, I was like, oh, I love that movie. And in my head, it was a lot cleaner than it was when I was watching it. Because I was like, yeah, kids, come on, let's watch. And I'm sitting here going like, oh,
Ooh, yeah.
ooh,
Hopefully
okay.
it went over their heads. Yeah.
It did,
Because
thankfully.
I mean, watching it like same, like it's been a while. I mean, I've probably watched it in the last 10 years for sure. Cause I think it was on one of the streamers like 10 years ago, or 5 or 6 years ago. I feel like 2020 was 10 years ago, but it was only 6 years ago. So that's why I always say that.
It
Cause
was
that's when
both
I think like,
yesterday and 100 years ago.
yes, I was there 86 years ago. Sorry, Titanic reference. But yeah, like I think because 2020 is kind of like when of course that was when the podcast started, but that was when I was really like, nothing new was coming out because everything was shut down. I was like, I want to go back and watch the movies from my childhood. And so being able to find stuff on the streamers, I think that's probably when I rewatched it again. Going back to my point, watching it again today, there was a lot of things like, ooh, I know that had to have gone like right over my head as a preteen. Like I would not have gotten that reference at all. But now as an adult, I'm like, oh, they said some stuff. They talked about some stuff.
Oh my.
Yeah. So, yeah. So,
Ew.
yeah. So, yeah. But yeah, for me, it's probably been, like I said, maybe like I would say 6 years ago at the earliest, probably. I was able, you can't find it on Blu-ray. It's like out of print. I've looked for it several times. You can find the DVD, but it's pretty pricey. I think that one's out of print as well. So it popped up on a digital version like maybe 3 or 4 months ago, I think, like after I'd put it on the list, and it was like $5 or $6. I'm like, I'm getting it because it's hard to find on streamers now too. So so I was able to get it and watch it there. But I will say the digital version that I watched it wasn't the cleanest, or like it just didn't seem like it was a very good transfer. So, but that's me being picky.
Well, I probably bought it on DVD at Walmart when it was in like a $5 bin.
Well, for sure,
100 years ago. So we just have it on DVD.
Oh, I mean, at your house, I'm shocked if I'm shocked if he
Blockbuster.
doesn't have it on DVD somewhere. Yeah.
No, this was mine. This was my
Right.
DVD.
Right.
So we like combined our DVDs when we got married, and his DVD collection was about 95% of it, but I had a solid 5%.
Yeah. I'm sure that probably wasn't very much overlap either, was there?
There was a lot of overlap.
There was,
actually.
okay.
We had to get, like, we sold a lot of stuff because he had it and I had it. We have a lot in common.
Okay, well that's
weirdly. So
yeah, well that's something. Yeah, Tyra, my wife, is not a collector of videos. Like I would buy DVDs for her, like back when Blockbuster and Hollywood Video would sell the previous review. I was like, oh, I got you this movie because you liked it. She's like, I'm never going to watch that again. Why did you spend money on that? And literally, I'll be watching a movie. She's like, what is this? I'll tell her. She's like, I've never seen that. I said, yes, we went to the theater and saw this. You don't remember this? I don't remember that. So.
Well,
anyway.
Come sit down, watch it again for the first time.
Yeah. But there's a few she's like, oh, I love that movie. So, and then what's really funny is when she's trying to remember a movie, she's like, that one with a thing that happened you were there. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. But anyway, we have our language. Eventually the dots connect. So
That is the beautiful thing about marriage is you can describe something terribly, but because you know your partner, you
mhm.
understand what they're saying.
Right. Yeah. It's that like she's saying it completely wrong. Nobody else will get. I'm like, I know where her brain is thinking. So yeah, exactly. So all right, we've broken down the cool factor and revisited the Tuscan scenery, but now it's time to see if we've actually done the homework. Let's play Risky Quizness. I pulled 5 facts about the making of Can't Buy Me Love. Your job is to tell me if each statement is true or false. Let's see if you're a total pro or if you're headed back to the nerd table.
If
Are
I
you ready?
fail to does the podcast end and I don't get to
No,
finish?
no.
Oh, good. Phew.
I think, yeah, funny enough, I think Laramie is the only one that is the only person that's completely bombed on Risky Quizness, but it was only because he was a last minute addition, so he was not as prepared, which he was quick to point out while we were going through. He's like, I'm tanking these, but
What?
I found out I was recording this like 6 hours ago. I'm like, true.
Laramie complained that he was losing? What?
Hard to believe, I know. So
Easy.
all right, here we go. 5 questions. Here we go. Number 1, true or false? The movie was originally titled Boy Rents Girl, but the title was changed after the producers secured the rights to the classic Beatles song. True or false?
Oh, boy. Part of me feels like that's true.
Final
I'm gonna
answer?
say final answer true.
Very good. Correct. The original title was deemed to be too quote unquote transactional. Once
And
the
also
rights to the Beatles,
terrible.
yeah, I know it's not Boy Rents Girl. Once the rights to the Beatles track were cleared, the film was rebranded to be more radio friendly and iconic. Amazingly, to get Can't Buy Me Love, the filmmakers had to screen the movie for Michael Jackson because he owned the rights to the Beatles
He
songs at that point.
owns that's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he loved the
No,
movie and gave them his permission.
it's a great song and it's a good title for the movie.
Oh
So
yeah, it fits. It definitely fits.
it
Yeah.
works.
Yep. So I know this. Like I try not to go too much into the pre-production, but I felt this fit with the question. So the screenwriter's name was Michael Swerdlick, and he said the idea for the film originated while he was a click mailroom clerk at the William Morris Agency. One of the agents invited him and other mailroom staffers to a party on a Saturday night. He brought with him a very attractive female friend, and guests took notice. That Monday, he found out that his status at the agency improved right away as quote unquote, everyone wanted to be my friend, he said. When he decided to write a script about high school, he incorporated this experience into the plot. So there you go.
Yeah.
Somewhat based on a true story. No, I'm just kidding.
Loosely based on
Very
a true
loosely
story.
based. Yeah. All right, she's got one right. Let's see how she does on number 2. True or false? The film was produced by Steven Spielberg's production company, Amblin Entertainment, as their first venture into the teen romantic comedy genre.
Oh boy. I'm gonna say false.
You would be correct. While it does have that classic 80s feel, the movie was actually a small independent production by Apollo Pictures before it was picked up for distribution by Disney's Buena Vista Touchstone Pictures. So good
Ooh.
job. She's 2 for 2. All right, she's on a
I should
roll.
have been paying attention to the DVD. That would have made the question a lot easier,
Right.
but I was not.
All right, number 3. The film was shot entirely on location at a real high school in Tucson, Arizona, and many of the students seen in the background were actual students attending the school.
I feel
True or
like I'd
false?
heard that this was true.
And you would be correct. It was
Yay!
filmed at Tucson High School. The production used the actual campus, which helped give the film its authentic, non Hollywood backlot aesthetic. Very much true. All right, you're kicking butt. So 3 for 3, 2 more to go. All right, here we go. True or false? Number 4. The famous African Anteater dance was a real cultural dance that Patrick Dempsey learned from a professional choreographer who specialized in world folk dances. True or false?
I, I think that's false because wasn't this movie choreographed by Paula Abdul?
That is correct. The dance was completely made up for the movie. Paul Abdul was the choreographer on the film, and the dance was designed to be as weird as possible to highlight Ronald's social awkwardness. Mission
It's so
accomplished.
much.
All right, let's see if we get a clean sweep here. Number 5, true or
Knock
false?
on wood.
Anthony Michael Hall was the first choice to play Ronald Miller, but he turned it down because he didn't want to be typecast as the nerd anymore. True or false?
Oh, man. It feels true. So I'm going to say true.
And she is a clean sweep winner. Congratulations. It is true. Anthony Michael Hall was the top choice given his 80s pedigree, but his refusal opened the door for Patrick Dempsey to take the role and launch his career as a leading man. So there you go.
That's awesome.
Good job. So tell us how you did. If you played along with us, you can send us an email, reach out to us on social media, or leave us a comment right here on YouTube if that's where you're watching the podcast. So good job. Good job. Good job.
Thanks.
All right.
I'm a very good test taker.
Very cool under pressure. Cool under pressure. All right. Well, let's jump into casting because that's kind of where we ended the risky quizness anyway. So let's talk about Mr. Dempsey, Patrick Dempsey as Ronald Miller. He was also in Loverboy in '89. He has since starred in several romantic comedy films such as Sweet Home Alabama in 2002, Maid of Honor in 2008, Valentine's Day in 2010, and Bridget Jones's Baby in 2016. He's also taken dramatic roles in Outbreak in '95, Scream 3 in 2000, Freedom Riders in 2007, and Ferrari in 2023. He starred in and produced Flypaper in 2001, as well as The Art of Racing in the Rain in 2019. And this year, he began playing the main role in the Fox crime drama Memory of a Killer. So
That's awesome.
I haven't watched that show yet, but of course,
No.
And of course, he was on.
But I loved him in Sweet Home Alabama.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. So he did. I think I've seen just about every movie he's been in, at least the ones that are listed here. I don't think I saw Ferrari. I didn't see Flypaper or The Art of Racing in the Rain, even though I wanted to. But yeah. But he was a complete unknown at the time. So the screenwriter and director both agreed that Ronald Miller needed to be someone who wasn't already famous. They said, if Ronald Miller is a star, when you meet him on his lawnmower, you'll never believe he is a nerd, so you'll never care when he's not a nerd. Even though Dempsey had starred in Fast Times at Ridgemont High TV adaptation and a few other movies, Can't Buy Me Love became his breakout role. Yeah.
I did confirm he's McDreamy.
McDreamy, thank you for
Grey's Anatomy.
Yes, thank you all Grey's Anatomy fans. Do not boycott the show because I said it wrong. So
yes, he is. I love him in this movie. Like, he is adorable. I do stand by the fact that I don't think he would be such an outcast nerd. Like, he's just objectively a good-looking human being. And I just don't believe him as a nerd, even with the glasses and the beret and the lawnmower.
Yeah, it's funny, like, thinking back to what was considered a nerd in '87 versus now. And of course, this is pre-Big Bang Theory, nerds rule the universe, now. Like, what is a nerd? That's, it's not as a social outcast as it used to be. But if they really they did kind of have to nerd him up though, because the beret, but like he's mowing lawns. I mean, that's even though it's a riding lawnmower, I mowed lawns in high school. That is not an easy job. And I wasn't far from it. I was far from a nerd. I wasn't athletic, but it was exhausting. Like, he had to be in shape. You see a lot when he's like washing her car. I'm like, the dude is like got muscles. It's not like he's, he's thin, and then, he's wearing the astronomy shirt. He's into the stars. But I'm like, is that really a nerd though? Like, I mean, back then I'm sure that's what we thought because it wasn't what the cool kids, quote unquote, were into because they weren't the jocks. But yeah.
But it reminds me of like She's All That, which I know we're legally not allowed to talk about on your podcast. But just like Rachel Lee Cook is a beautiful woman, whether she's wearing glasses and has a ponytail or not.
Right.
Plays into that, when they did the parody, Not Another Teen Movie. It's like her, but she has glasses and a ponytail. It's just like, at least in this movie, the trope is switched. It's the boy. And he's like, but him? He has on a beret and glasses.
Right.
He could never be cool.
And he has sleeves on his shirt.
Gross. You're gonna tell me that I have to not look at his arms?
Right,
Gross.
right, right. So yeah, I think he was a perfect choice. This is one of those movies where like I think casting is pretty spot on. I mean, there's really nobody on this cast that I felt like was out of place or didn't belong. Like they all like hit it out of the park. So let's jump to the next person. Amanda Peterson,
Yeah.
God bless her, rest in peace, as Cindy Mancini. I mean, I fell in love with her from day one. Like, of course, that's one of the reasons why I love this movie because she was gorgeous. She was
Mhm.
sincere. I'm amazed that she was 15 years old when this movie was made and he was
What?
20. Yeah. Like she carries herself more mature than like the adults
Yeah.
in this movie. Like when I saw that when I was doing the notes, I was like, and I saw it a couple places. I couldn't say it was a misprint. Like she was 15. So,
Wow.
but she's so good in this, like so incredibly good in this. So,
She is, like you said, she's very sincere, and you get to see so many sides of her, and you
hmm
really don't even get to delve super deep into her and her
yeah,
motivations,
yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah.
But like you see, she's got this mom who makes bad decisions with
Very bad
men.
decisions.
And yeah, so gross
Right.
at the very beginning. And then
hmm
she also is making kind of poor decisions with guys. And
hmm
she finally meets somebody who, like, the way they start out their relationship's not the best, but it, like, you can see why she is drawn to him.
hmm
It's not just like, oh, now he's cool and so she likes him. Like, she doesn't like him when he's being cool. She likes him when they're just the two of them together and
Right.
he's like
Right.
being his real self.
hmm Yeah.
And
Yeah.
her and her poetry, and it's just so sweet and cute.
hmm hmm Yeah, I agree.
She's
I
very
wish
good in it.
yeah. I wish they would have given her a little bit more of a backstory. And once again, I mean, well, of course, watching it again now, it's like it's very surface. Like I mean, it moves through a school
Mhm.
year pretty quickly. So,
Yeah.
of course, you don't want it to be I don't want a 2.5 hour movie about, a romantic comedy. But at the
Yeah.
same time, I still feel like there was some depth to her character that I wish we would have gotten a little bit more. But I think she brought the character to life just her
Mhm.
talent alone, that it's believable. Like, even though I wanted to know more, but that's good. It's good that I want to know more because if I didn't, it'd tell you how
Mhm.
terrible she was or how
Right.
terrible the character was.
But I
So,
mean, was she that terrible or was it just a coping mechanism because
hmm
she's hurting so bad?
yeah, exactly,
She has a
exactly.
boyfriend, but the boyfriend is away and doesn't seem to really care about her.
Right,
She has a
right.
mom who is constantly running off with these guys who are hitting on her just as much as they're hitting on her mom.
hmm hmm
It's and she has all of these friends, but they're super vapid and shallow and not
hmm
true friends.
right. Yeah,
And
which was
she's
like,
yeah.
yeah, which was like the click. I mean, that was, thinking back to high school. Let's have a little therapy session here. No, I'm just kidding. But like thinking
Yeah,
back to high
let's do
school,
it.
like I've had this conversation with my daughter. My daughter's in high school now. She's going to be about to be a junior, and she's gone through times like I don't have any friends at school, and hopefully none of her friends are watching or listening to this. Probably not, but anyway. But she's like I don't have any friends. I'm like when I was in high school, I had friends, but the bad thing is I wanted the friends that didn't wanna be friends with me. Like, I wanted to be friends with the popular kids, even though I knew them. We were nice to each other. I was never bullied or anything like that that I remember. But it was like we were cordial and like we
Mhm,
kinda ran in some of the same circles, like we went to church together, things of that nature, but there was that part of me like, "Ooh, I just wanna be in that air of popular."
mhm,
But looking back, I'm like, but the guys that I hung out with, those are my real friends. And we were all kind of like misfits and not really outcasts, but like we were the three new guys at school that year. So we kind of course, we found that commonality. That's why we hung out together. Whereas these other people had been in school together for 4 or 5 years, there was depth to their relationship. So it's hard to say like, well, that's a clique that doesn't want us. As you get older, you realize there's just people have deeper relationships with certain people that they have connections with. And it's not that they're trying to keep you out of their group. There's bonds that you're not going to get in a 5-minute conversation that they've
mhm.
had with for 5 or 6 years of their life. So, and I learned that even as an adult too. So,
Yeah. I mean, you've got the friends who, and friendship also comes in phases. Like
yeah.
sometimes the
Oh yeah.
person that you were the closest to and shared everything with, you
Mm-hmm.
just, you grow apart. And
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't mean you're not friends with them. It doesn't mean you don't love them. You just don't go to them as often as you used to. And then
Mm-hmm.
people that you were kind of just like, I don't know, I like them. They seem nice. Now become your confidant and like the person. And it doesn't make either friendship more or less. It just friendships are
Mm-hmm.
phases.
Yeah.
But that's hard when you're a kid and
Yeah.
everything is the end of the world when you're a
Mm-hmm.
kid.
Mm-hmm.
It is, and it's impossible to explain to a child like this is just for right now. Like
Mm-hmm.
this
Mm-hmm.
feels like everything, but it's just right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So thank you for coming to our TED Talk. We appreciate it. But yeah, I agree. I don't want to get too far off on that. But once again, it's just like just one of the things about watching movies like this as an adult is like seeing it from a different perspective, and like, but
Mhm.
also remembering as that kid, preteen, I recognize this. I recognize myself in this character that like, ooh, I want to be.
Mhm.
Would I have ever given a girl $1,000 to be make myself popular? Probably not.
No.
I wouldn't even have the nerve to even talk to her, much less proposition her with money. But anyway, as bad as that sounds, but yeah, just it's but it's a movie, and that's what we lived out some of those ideas through that. But
Well, I
anyway,
mean,
go
I
ahead.
know it's just a movie, but
Hmm.
I feel like movies are important because they offer an opportunity for you to see yourself and see
Hmm.
experiences that you have, and it when you're in it, it feels very isolating. You feel alone, but to see it reflected back to you, it's just like,
Hmm.
"Oh, it's not just me. Somebody else feels just like this, just like
Right,
me."
right,
And
right.
so, yes, it's a silly movie named after a
Hmm.
Beatles song, thankfully, and not the other name you gave.
Right.
But it's still it helps kids go like, "Oh,
Hmm.
maybe maybe being popular isn't the thing I need to look into. Maybe it's I need to focus on the true friends that I have."
Hmm. Hmm. I know we're jumping, but it's like I don't, if I don't mention it now, I'll probably forget later. But I love another reason why I love this movie, and it's the scene towards the end where it's like, the big turning point scene where, he's been outcast because she told that, she was drunk and told the truth in front of everybody. So nobody wants to be him. He's now the leper again. For and not for real, but like,
Yeah.
he's being treated like a leper. Um, and the jocks want to, attack his other friend. I can't think of his name right now off the top of my head.
That
Um,
redheaded guy that was
yeah,
always the nerd in the movies in the '80s.
yes, yes. I'm gonna pull it up. Kenneth, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, his friend Kenneth, and he tells the stories like, "I'm gonna break your arm. Remember, like, you broke your arm when we were in elementary school, and
Yeah.
Kenneth carried you all the way to the hospital, and you cried the whole way. Like, let's not forget
Yeah.
who we used to be. Like this, went to these cliques when we got into high school because, and I think it makes the comment at the beginning, like it was easier in elementary school because they forced us all to be together. It's when we got into high school where they split us up and everybody kind of went their own way. And I'm like, that's a very adult thing to say, or very
Yeah.
like, true statement that's kind of what happens. And so
Yeah.
like, I remember people that I was friends with in elementary school. And when we got into middle school and high school, we just split, just went different directions because we just didn't see each other like we used to. So yeah, so I love that scene because that's the heart of the movie. Like, if you can realize that at that age, that like, what are we separating ourselves for? Like, we were all friends at one point. Do we have different, goals and different interests now than we did back then? Yeah, but let's not become enemies because
Yeah.
we don't
We're all
sit
still
at the
human
same
beings.
yeah, because we don't sit at the same table or, for lunch. So, but we could do a whole hour podcast about high school from from
Lord,
this
please
movie.
no.
All right, let me get back to Amanda Peterson. So, she guest starred on Father Murphy and Silver Spoons, appeared in over 50 commercials. Uh, she was on a TV show called Boone, which was canceled after one season. In 1985, she starred in the movie Explorers, as Laurie Swenson. Also in the 90s, She appeared on Doogie Howser MD. Her final on-screen role was in Wind Runner 1994, filmed at age 22, after a recurring role on Jack's Place in 1993. She kind of left acting for a while, but sadly, she passed in July of 2015. Her family revealed that a traumatizing experience on the set of this movie contributed to issues she later faced, including addiction to drugs that ultimately ended her acting career. But she died of an accidental morphine overdose in July of 2015 at the age of 43. So I think I read somewhere else
Goodness.
she had had a hysterectomy, and they had given
Mm,
her, she was on some kind of painkiller, but a friend had given her a morphine pill because she was having trouble sleeping due to paranoia but she was not on drugs at the time, but unfortunately it was a
mhm.
drug overdose that killed her. But yeah,
That's terrible.
very sad. Very, very sad. And I remember when she passed, like, it's like, oh yeah, like whatever did happen to her. But yeah, I expected her to be a bigger star than she
Yeah.
was.
Well,
So
watching the movie, I was like, "What else have I seen her in?" I feel like I've seen her in so many other things,
mhm.
and I pulled it up and I was like, "Oh, like, nothing, really." She was in Annie. She was a dancer in
Yes, yes.
Annie,
Yep, yep.
but
Yeah.
that's not what I remember her from. It's
Mhm.
just this movie, apparently.
Yeah. I think looking at like the TV credits that she had done, like she had guest starred on a ton of TV shows that I probably watched. You've seen like one episode of. So
Right.
yeah. All right, moving down the line. Courtney Gaines as Kenneth. We mentioned Kenneth earlier. He achieved success during the 80s with a variety of roles in films such as Children of the Corn, Hard Bodies. He was in Back to the Future, Secret Admirer, Colors, The Burbs in 89, and Memphis Belle. Later films included Sweet Home Alabama, Warm Days, which he executive produced, and Rob Zombie's Halloween remake. But yes, this was the movie that I knew him from, though. I mean, I remember seeing him in The Burbs. I remember seeing him in Secret Admirer, Memphis Belle, but like this, he was always Kenneth. Like that was just the character that I
Yeah.
remember him from. So,
It's
all right,
he's so iconic in this character.
for sure, yeah. All right, and we'll kind of try to hit some of these pretty quickly. So we got Tina Caspary as Barbara. She's an actress known for My Mom's a Werewolf and Mac and Me. She was also in Annie with Amanda Peterson as well. Fun fact about her: she was originally cast as Kelly Bundy on Married with Children, but
Oh, wow. Okay.
didn't. They had her teamed up with a different younger brother, and they didn't think their
Mhm,
chemistry was well enough, so they brought in Christina Applegate and David Fosterino. I can't
mhm.
think of his last name, but yeah, they were better. So,
Yeah, they were great.
uh, yeah. Um, one of my favorites, Seth Green as Chucky Miller
I did
during.
not realize it was Seth Green
Oh,
until I
really?
was sitting there
Yeah,
looking at it and I was like, "Is that
yeah,
like
yeah.
today?"
Right,
Today went like, "Is it Seth
right.
Green?"
And I read something like he said he still gets recognized. Like people still bring it up to him. He's like, how? I don't even look like that. Like, I don't even look like that anymore, but it's him. I mean, it's totally him. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, during the 90s and 2000s, he began starring in comedy films such as Idle Hands in 99, Rat Race in 2001, Without a Paddle in 2004, and Be Cool in 2005. He was best known for his portrayal as Scott Evil, Dr. Evil's son in Austin Powers film series. He's also the voice of Howard the Duck in a number of the Marvel Cinematic Universe films and series, Guardians of the Galaxy 1 through 3, and the animated series What If. But yeah, um,
Nice.
best younger brother side character ever. Like
For sure.
every scene. We'll get to him in a minute. We'll talk about him a little bit more.
Okay.
Then we've got Sharon Farrell as Mrs. Mancini, her mom. She made her film debut in 1959 in Kiss Her Goodbye, followed by roles in 40 Pounds of Trouble in 62, such a weird name for a movie. A Lovely Way to Die in 68 and Marlowe in 69. She worked mostly in television with recurring roles on the series Saints and Sinners in 62, Dr. Kildare in 65, and Hawaii Five-O in 1980. Yeah, she
I
was
think
good as the mom. Yep,
everybody was in Hawaii Five-O or Love
of
Boat.
course. Love Boat. Yeah, exactly. Then you've got Dennis Dugan as David Miller, Ronald's dad. He's known for directing the films Problem Child, Brain Donors, Beverly Hills Ninja, and National Security. And he's directed most of the Adam Sandler movies Happy Gilmore, Big Daddy, The Benchwarmers, I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry, You Don't Mess with the
Oh,
Zohan, Grown Ups, Just Go With It, Jack and Jill, and Grown Ups 2.
good for him. I had no idea.
Yeah. Like, when I saw his name, I was like, "I know that name," because I've seen probably every, Adam
Adam
Sandler
Sandler
movie
movie. Yeah.
because it's an Adam Sandler movie. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not expecting it to be award-winning. I mean, he's done some award-winning movies, but
Yes.
not these.
Yeah.
But, like, I know what I'm gonna get. It's okay. It's like he's,
Probably quote Big Daddy every day, and I don't even realize I'm doing it anymore.
Just Go With It is probably one of me and Tyra's favorite, like, Adam Sandler
Mhm.
movies. Like, I will agree, his chemistry with Jennifer Aniston is pretty great, but that movie is just so ridiculous and funny. Nicole Kidman and Dave Matthews, just the cameos, it's just great. We love that movie, so
I
much
love
fun.
it.
Then we've got Darcy DeMoss as Patty. She was in Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives, which we had talked about on the podcast before. That's all I'm going to mention of hers because her other movies are not ones that we want to talk about on a family-friendly podcast. Yeah, she went a little more on the
Blue.
spicy side after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
Then you've got Devin DeVasquez as Iris. She played the Virgin in House 2. She also played Clarissa Carolyn in the Body Horror Film Society. She was also in the 3rd episode of Married with Children. She appeared in other films like Low Down Dirty Shame, Busted, and Guns. Couldn't tell you what. I know Low Down Dirty Shame, but I don't know the other ones. Then, so those are kind of those are, I think Patty and Iris were the friends, Cindy's friends, right? Yeah.
Quote unquote friends.
Quote friends, yeah. Not very faithful friends. But anyway, moving on. Then we've got Eric Bruscotter as Big John Richmond. His first acting gig came in the form of an episode of Amazing Stories. He was also on the TV show Tour of Duty that came out that same year in 87, which I remember him from. He returned to feature films in the 90s in Crimson Tide and The Line of Fire. He's also known for his role as Rube Baker in Major League 2 and Major League Back to the Minors. So,
Nice.
he was also in Starship Troopers, if you are a fan of that movie. But I knew him from Major League 2 and Tour of Duty. I was a big fan of that show. Then we've got Gerardo Mejia as Ricky. If you did not know, he's the musician that went on to record several albums with Rico Suave as being his most
Ooh.
popular song. He actually taught Patrick Dempsey the wavy dance move that Dempsey performs in the scene just before his character Ronald breaks up with Cindy, which is the worst wavy dance. Like, come on, man. Yeah. No, it's when he's standing out when she comes up for the breakup and he's trying to do like the break dancing, like the wave thing. Yeah. So,
Yeah. Nice.
yeah. Yeah. All right. Then we got Court McCown as Quint. His film debut was in Teen Wolf. One of Michael J. Fox's basketball teammates. He was also in Beverly Hills Brats. He went on to appear in TV shows like Hunter, Jag, Beverly Hills 90210, and the FX sitcom The League. I think he was one of Ronald's friends. And then Amy Dolenz has a Blink and You Miss It cameo in this movie as Fran. She's the daughter of Mickey Dolenz from the 60s group The Monkees. She was in a bunch of movies as well, like, B movies basically, but
Yeah.
I knew her. And then Max Perlich as Lester. Once again, another high school, one of Ronald's friends. His career began with a small part in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. He went on to be in other teen films such as Plain Clothes in 88, Gleaming the Cube, Lost Angels, and Drugstore Cowboy in 89. He was also in the films Rush in 91, The Butcher's Wife in 91, Cliffhanger in 93, Maverick in 94. Yeah, he had a prolific 90s. So, but yeah, he was the crew cut nerd friend.
In the like leather jacket.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That was him. And then I did not have him on my list until this popped up. And I was like, I did not know this. George Gray III, who plays Bobby, the football player boyfriend that
Mm-hmm.
is kind of on the TV. And I think that's the only time he's going to be in the movie. He shows up at the party. He's best known for hosting the game shows Extreme Gong and Weakest Link. But he's been the announcer on The Price is Right since 2011. Yep.
Wow.
So the next time you're at home, homesick from work,
Sick.
and you're having that bowl of chicken noodle soup, some ginger ale, and watching The Price is
Mhm.
Right like you did when you were in elementary school.
Absolutely.
When the announcer comes on The Price is Right, like that dude was in Can't Buy Me Love. And
That's awesome. Good for
yeah,
him. That's
yeah,
a pretty good gig.
yeah,
Price
yeah,
is Right announcer.
yeah.
Come on down.
Come on down. So yeah, I say, yeah, and if you ever win that on trivia, please be sure to let them know that you learned it here, folks.
Yeah. I'll give you a percentage of my, bar gift card.
Right. I'll buy you some nachos.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else in the cast that I might have missed, or anybody you wanted to mention that stood out to you?
I can't think of anybody. The only person that really stood out to me today watching it was Seth Green. And it was just because I was like, oh, gosh, he really has been around a long time.
Long time. Yeah. Yep. All right, well, let's talk about iconic and favorite scenes. So if anybody says Can't Buy Me Love, instead of thinking about the song from the Beatles, what's the first scene that pops in your head?
It's the African Anteater dance.
Yes, exactly. It's at the top of my list for sure.
It's because what the hat on top of that beautiful joke mountain that they've built is the nerds recognizing what
Right,
it is.
exactly.
That's the best.
Yeah. But I love the setup is like he comes in and once again, why is the TV in the kitchen? Like, don't they have another TV
And that's
in the
the
house?
only TV they have.
Only TV is in the kitchen and he's just sitting on the counter. And he's like, I got to watch the last 10 minutes of, American Bandstand. And so he's just flipping channels. He's like, oh, Spotlight Dance, here you go. And then he's following it. And then, of course, he leaves the room. His brother comes back and was like, it's, PBS,
It's PBS, yeah.
And, oh, man, what a great setup.
And it's not a bit. I don't know how you would do a bit like that now.
Right.
Unless it was on TikTok and you're trying to find popular dances and because you're a nerd, you get fed African Anteater dances.
Yeah, definitely dates it like you were going to American Bandstand to find the latest dance moves. That's definitely
that's
80s,
your first
80s reference for sure.
That's your first aging, and then there's only one TV, and it's in the kitchen. There's your other aging, and then you're flipping the channels because you don't have any kind of guide.
Yeah, like you don't know what channel American Bandstand is on.
You don't know what channel you're on. Yeah. It's great.
Man.
No notes, fantastic.
Yeah,
and it's such a dumb dance, but it when they're all doing it together, it is so iconic.
Yeah.
Where all you have to do when you're talking about it is the shaking with your hands next to your head.
And waving your arms in front and behind you and with your head down. So yeah. Yeah.
that's it. And everybody knows the movie you're talking about.
Exactly. And I love that they bring it back it becomes so popular that he goes home on New Year's
and
Eve.
He's all sad.
And everybody in his house, the friends of his parents are now doing the dance at his house. And what do you do?
That's how you know he's not cool anymore.
Yeah.
Now the dance that he's made is being done by the middle-aged adults.
Right. And he goes to the shed to sleep with the lawnmower, which is just that is the lowest of the low. You can't even sneak in the back door to get to your bedroom. You're just going to sleep outside. No. So
you have to sleep in the shed. And I will say, he is such a little twerp. The second they break up, he becomes awful.
Oh, yeah. So that's my second most iconic scene. Him walking down the hall after the breakup in that Western outfit, his hair all slicked back and hey, he's like Mr. Cool. And I'm like, you're so slimy, man.
What a little prick. I can't even with you.
Right.
And it seems like such a quick turn. It goes to his head so fast.
So fast. Yes.
And because they break up and it's not even halfway through the movie.
Right.
And he's just a jerk for the rest of it. And I'll be honest with you, if my daughter was treated that way, if she was what's the name of the character? Cindy. If she was Cindy in that movie, I would be absolutely not. He is no longer cutting our grass. I don't care if there's nobody else on the block that cuts grass. I will cut it with scissors myself.
Right.
That boy does not deserve your time. He uses her poem.
Oh gosh, that was the lowest of the low. Yeah.
He sucks. And he deserved it. He deserved to get, and it ticked me off that Seth Green, now let me get on a soapbox, that he comes up here and he blames her for it.
Mhm.
Absolutely not, sir.
Right.
He created this situation.
Mhm.
He saw her in a vulnerable position. He made a proposition she accepted,
Mhm.
and then he took advantage of the situation, like, was so ugly to her for
Mhm.
no reason, but just because he knew it was gonna make him more popular.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
he turned against everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so when he finally falls, it is hard. He falls
Mhm.
off that pedestal hard,
Mhm.
and he
Mhm.
deserves it.
Yeah.
I don't think the resolution was enough. I think he needed to apologize to her because he never
Mhm.
truly apologizes to her. Like, he has his little
Yeah.
speech, but
Yeah.
he doesn't apologize. Like, she even says, like, makes the comment, gives him the opportunity to say, like, "Hey, I heard you use
Mhm.
my He doesn't acknowledge that,
Right. Right.
but it really feels like, I don't have any friends now. Please be my friend.
Mhm.
I'm
Mhm.
sorry. Stop being mad at me. I said I'm
Right.
sorry.
Right.
Stop it. No. You
Mhm.
deserve to suffer a little bit longer. I'm sorry." And that's my 2 cents.
No, I mean, you're not wrong. So, uh, yeah, it like, once again, it's hard not hard watching it. It's interesting seeing it from an adult perspective because, like I said, when he comes around that corner, like, he's so slimy. Like, I don't remember if I
Mhm.
thought that. I knew it was over the top even as a kid, like, okay, he's really gone off the deep end. But, like, it's so slimy now. But then I'm even more like, I'm upset at him, but then I'm even more upset at the friends because they fawn all over
Mhm.
him. Like, he's like
Mhm.
now he's become the most popular kid of all of them. And I'm like, why? Like, there's no real reason. Like, because
He
he,
objectively sucks right now.
right. Yeah. Like, he, like, doesn't just break up with her, but, like, he makes a scene outside in public with people, and, like, that's, like, the
It's
lowest of the
mean.
low. It's mean. Like, they could have done, of course, it wouldn't make for an it's for a movie, you need the drama, but, like, "Hey, let's just tell people we broke up. This will be our story. It
Yeah.
happened somewhere else, like, and that be it." But,
Yeah.
you gotta have the big breakup moment,
But
but
it's like
then she
he feels like he can't be popular if she's still, like, on the pedestal that she was at. So in
Mhm.
order for him to keep moving up, he has to bring her down.
Yeah. And I think it's too, like, I will say, like, when she's when she's with the other guy, the other college guy, what is his
Random
name? Yeah,
weird guy.
yeah. What is his name? Biff? It's
No,
Brett.
it's Brett.
Yeah, he's like, "There's a difference." And I read in the notes that if you look, his license plate is BYF, so that's why he called it, his name was Biff. Uh, but yeah, but, like, I kinda feel like he was jealous, like, he was, like, he really did like her, but he was too afraid to, like, I don't think they explored it enough to, like, I think he still felt like, yeah, I'm still a nerd on the inside. Yeah, I'm putting up this
Mhm.
big facade, but I could never get you even if I wanted to. So I've got to just play this part and ride my 15 minutes of fame, even though he didn't realize it was going to be like 13 and a half minutes.
Yeah.
But
He was very insecure.
very, very so. But, if you're willing to pay to be popular, that kind of tells you how insecure you are.
But also, what a great depiction of, like, a 16-year-old boy. Like, just completely insecure.
That doesn't make me feel any better than my daughter's 16. Like, don't stay
Sorry.
away from boys until you're at least
Just don't
32.
talk to people ever.
No, she's got a good head on her shoulder. She's not
Good
she's
for
not
her.
boy she's not boy crazy just yet. Which take your time, girl. Take your time. But she's also much more mature and she thinks they're all goofy and stupid. So I'm like, that
They are. They
you're
are
right.
all goofy and stupid, and they smell bad.
Yeah. All right. So what about some favorite scenes?
I I will say another scene that obviously the dance scene, it's just great.
Mhm.
But basically when they have the scene where he's, like, trying to get her, and I don't know what her goal was with the dress of, like, "I'm just gonna give you this ruined dress, and you're gonna give me the new one, and that's
Mhm.
gonna be fine." And it's just such a funny scene of, like, kind of establishing those characters and where
Mhm.
they are. It's a fun scene to watch, and it does a good job of setting the tone of the movie.
Yeah, well, for my favorite scenes, I just put every scene with Seth Green. Like,
Yeah.
every scene he was in.
He's so funny.
He's so funny.
What a slimy little brother.
Yes. I love, like, he's talking and his dad said, "I was talking to mom." Like, that was, like, that ongoing bit, like, "I was talking to mom, Dad." And then the one line that I love, I mean, once again, you know, he's blaming Cindy, but the line was great. "You took him from geek status to king status
to
no status." And then I love that she puts the powder on his face, and then he's like, "You think that's gonna scare me away?" And then she goes with the lipstick, and he's like, "Ah." Like his whole
It's
manners
not
and
even
everything.
for my complexion.
Yeah. It's just, I'm like, how much was
He's
that
so
ad
cute.
libbed? I want to know how much he ad libbed and how much that was in the script. But he stole every single scene he was in. So
He really did.
which was my favorite. But
I also loved, like, at the beginning when Patrick Dempsey's talking about how much money he's raised and he's going to buy this telescope, and then he's going to put money into, like, a savings account, and he's so excited. And his brother's just like, "Yeah, no, that's great. Hey, can I borrow $20?"
yeah,
His dad's like, "Yeah, sure. Here you go."
right. Oh man. I will say, like, it's still funny to me, and it's the middle school boy in me, but like, why the big jock has a gas problem, but every time he has to relieve himself, you know, Seth Green gets caught in the crossfire or the direct fire, which is hilarious. But it was when I was watching it today, and maybe you saw on the DVD. Is there any sound? Like, is there a fart sound in the original movie?
No, it's very weird.
Which I was surprised. Like, I was like, I felt like there was a fart sound there, and when the version I was watching, there wasn't. I was like, maybe they took it out. I'm like, well, why? But anyway, I was curious. Like, maybe that's the Mandela effect. Like, it had to make some kind of sound, but I guess it was silent but deadly. Anyway.
I think that guy has a dairy problem, and maybe he should stop.
Yeah. How is he popular with that problem? Right. How is he popular with that
Because he's a boy.
Yeah.
He's a boy that's good at sports.
All right. Football. It's all about the football. So, all right. Well, let's hit a couple of trivia things before we jump into box office. I noticed this in the movie, and I don't think I'd ever noticed it until today, or if I did, I didn't care enough to think more about it. But at the beginning of the movie, during the cheerleaders practice scene, did you notice there were people outside the fence with picket signs?
No.
You didn't see that? So these were striking crew members of the film because the film was done non-union. The Screen Actors Guild sent representatives to the set to dissuade the students at Tucson High School from being extras. While their plan ultimately failed, the school's drama club decided not to participate. But yeah, there are actual protesters in the background with their sign. You can't read the signs, but they're obviously protesting. I was like, who's
protesting?
Yeah, what are they protesting? So I just thought that was interesting.
I think it's really funny that it's the drama club who said, like, "We will not participate in the film. We have standard."
Right. At about an hour into the movie, there are several station wagons parked outside of the local hangout, Scoops, whereas early in the movie, the cars driven by the high schoolers were sportier. After Ronald became cool, quote unquote, he was driving his dad's station wagon, and apparently all the other cool kids followed suit, just like they did with the dance Ronald did at the Columbus Day dance, which I was like, I don't think I ever picked up on that.
Never noticed that.
But yeah. But what a great name for a local business. Tic Tac Tile. He's the tile man.
Great.
Loved it.
Iconic. Beautiful.
Yeah. I'll never forget it. Another fun fact about somebody you did that is more popular now, the song that's playing on the radio when he's making out with one of the friends, I think Iris, there's a song in the background playing called French Kissing. And it was written by Chuck Lorre, who would later create Big Bang Theory.
Yeah. Wow.
I wonder if he got any inspiration from this movie for that show.
Maybe.
A nerd and a
There's a lot
blonde.
of overlapping.
Yeah, I could see that. So yeah, so that's what I got for trivia. So
I love it.
box office. There wasn't a whole lot. There wasn't a whole lot of behind the scenes on here. But Can't Buy Me Love opened in North American theaters on August 14th, 1987. It debuted at number 3 at the weekend box office. It beat out other new releases for the week, including No Way Out, which came out at number 4 with Kevin Costner. The Fat Boys led Disorderlies that came in at number 7, and The Monster Squad at number 12. but it couldn't overtake The Holdovers, The Living Daylights at number 2, and Stakeout at number 1. Have you
Nice.
seen any of those other movies that I
I have
mentioned?
not. But you
No
know what
Way
I
Out
own
is
on DVD?
fantastic. Which one? The Living Daylights?
Can't Buy Me Love.
Can't Buy Me Love. Okay, there you go. Yeah, that makes sense.
There you go.
Yeah. No Way Out, excellent movie. We've covered it.
Okay.
Disorderlies is as terrible as it sounds and as funny as it sounds. Monster Squad is a cult classic we've covered on the podcast.
That's the Nards one.
Yeah.
The Wolfman Has Nards. Okay.
Wolfman Has Nards. That's it. Yeah.
Yes.
Your husband will be proud. You knew that one.
I just know that quote. That's the only thing I know about that movie. And it's because when I worked at Blockbuster,
I'm
my
sure.
boss, she quoted that movie and I was like, I have no idea
Wow.
what that is. And she told me, and she was very disappointed in me for not knowing it. And so that's been seared into my memory.
Gotcha. She it made me think of Office Space, where you have to have so much flair on your. I can
Yeah.
see if you had to have flair on your Blockbuster shirt, you would have a pin that said "Kick him in the nards."
You got
so-
you have to have like these merit badges of
Yeah.
like understanding what random quote
Yes.
is used.
There you go.
And
Yes, yes.
I just didn't get my Monster Squad badge.
You didn't get that one, yeah.
Never
so.
got it.
Well, it's time to take a look at how well this 80s flick holds up today. It's the Rewatchability Nostalgia Meter. It's our way of measuring how enjoyable a movie is for repeat viewings, along with the waves of nostalgia it brings. Here's how it works. It's a 1 to 10 scale. Any number between 1 and 10 will do, but here are a few parameters to help you decide. At the bottom of the meter, the number 1 means I saw it once and that was enough. At the middle is a 5. It means it's a good rewatch every couple of years. And the highly coveted top of the meter is a number 10, meaning it's highly rewatchable and full of nostalgia. So, Bethany, where does Can't Buy Me Love rank for you on the rewatchability and nostalgia meter?
I am going to say it's a 6.4.
Okay.
It's very nostalgic and I do enjoy rewatching it. I just don't watch it all the time.
Right.
Like it's not something that I'm just like, oh man, I got to watch that again. Like I don't. Usually a movie for that, it has to make me feel really good when I'm watching it.
Right.
There's a lot of scenes in this movie that make me feel really bad. I will say the slow clap scene at the very end.
Oh, yeah, the slow clap.
We're sitting there watching it and Ruby just goes like, this is so cringy. But then when the movie was over, she was like, well, that was actually pretty cute. And I was like, well, I'm glad you appreciated it, even though it was cringe.
Right.
But yeah,
like I said, go ahead. Yeah.
It's good. It's fun. It's got moments that I'm always going to remember. Like I said, I've told my kid about it before she even watched the movie. And it's a fun movie. It's just not like, gotta have this on repeat.
Right. Yeah. I'm kind of there with you. I think I'm gonna give it a little bit higher. I give it a 7 just because of nostalgia. I mean, this is one that I saw as a kid, when it first came out. So it's definitely a part of my adolescence for sure. So, but yeah, it's one that I would like to watch every couple of years, but not one that I want to watch like every year. But now that I've seen it again, I do want to watch it again with my daughter and kind of get her perspective on it. I thought about asking her to watch it with me today, but I knew she wasn't going to be in the mood. So I have to wait till she's, she'll want to watch something with me. 16-year-olds, that's how it is.
So good.
But yeah, I think 7 is still good for this type of movie. Like I said, there's some things that don't hold up as well as I would like them to, or like don't age as well as I'd like them to, but it still has the good nostalgia and great still scenes that made me laugh out loud. Lines that I quoted as they were saying it because I remembered I'd seen it so many times. So it's a solid 7 for me. I think that works.
Yeah. Nice.
So let us know where you think Can't Buy Me Love should rank on the rewatchability nostalgia meter. Send us an email, let us know on social media, or drop us a comment right here on YouTube. So, well, Bethany, anything else you want to say about Can't Buy Me Love as we wrap it up?
I'm just going to say that if you have a plan to watch American Bandstand, please make sure to set your alarms and reserve the counter space so that your brother can't hog the TV remote.
Right. Or at least check the TV guide to know which channel it's going to be on. So make sure that you turn to the right channel.
Absolutely.
All right, well, that's a wrap on another trip to the greatest decade of cinema. If we sparked a memory or helped you rediscover a classic today, please head over to Apple Podcast and leave us a 5-star review. It truly helps the show reach more fans just like you. Make sure you're always in the loop for our next deep dive. Hit that follow or subscribe button. And if you want to help keep the show running, consider being a partner at buymeacoffee.com. For more 80s goodness, our digital headquarters is always open at 80sflickflashback.com. While you're there, check out our TeePublic store for original designs and movie-inspired merch that'll have you looking like an 80s icon. Thanks again for tuning in, everybody. Thank you again, Bethany, for being here. Always a pleasure to have you on the show with us.
Thanks, Tim. Thanks for having me.
Yep. I'm Tim Williams for the 80s Flick Flashback Podcast. Me? Change? Never.